Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. This is Frontiers of Knowledge. Are you aware that there is a rare plant, not one, but quite a number of them, that bleed? But when they bleed, it's not water or blood or milk that comes out, it is metals. There is a province in Indonesia, Sarawako. This is a home to immense diversity of plants, and most of them are found nowhere else in the world. But then, small towns became the hub of one of the largest mining areas in the world. This is a small town. But today, 5% of the total world's production of nickel is from that town. And it's only one company. If you take all the companies, this will be more than 40% of the world's global production. But then they are very rare and very valuable plants, naturally mined. They bleed large quantities of nickel. Indonesian forests are full of mine metals and nickel hyperaccumulators. The plants are so called. They have evolved. What they do is they suck the metal and bind the metal inside their cell walls, store inside their cells called vacuoles, and they mainly store in their shoots, in their leaves, in their roots, and even in their sap. So you pluck a leaf, and what you find is not sap, but nickel which comes out. Some nickel loving species, like a salamure, which is native to Italy, can take up to 30 micrograms of nickel per dried leaf. One leaf would have 30,000 micrograms of nickel. Then there are plants in Malaysia, which is called Philinus belogi. It has a high nickel content and the leaves become bluish green because of nickel. Till now in the world, their scientists have identified 450 plants 450 plants that suck nickel from the earth, and then the plants can be used to produce nickel. And most of these plants grow in those countries that have less plant diversity and lower nickel deposits. Indonesia is an exception. Cuba has 130 such species. Southern Europe has 45 such species. New Caledonia 65. Malaysia 24. Curiously, Indonesia, as I said, has the largest nickel deposit in the world and its plants suck nickel. Otherwhere, in other countries, the nickel is not there, but still they suck whatever minute is there. And the beauty of the nickel hyperaccumulator is that they collect something which is both a toxic pollutant if left in the soil and a valuable material for producing everything from kitchen taps to electric car batteries. Nickel is one of the most useful metals. So in Indonesia, they have found two species, and these are the latest species. And it has been found that these native plants can have 1,000 to 5,000 micron per gram of a dried leaf. 1 gram of dried leaf is a start, and the scientists are hunting for more. But by itself, and do you know now the University of Queensland has calculated that the hyperaccumulator can produce an estimated 120 kilograms of nickel per hectare per year. So you don't need mining, you don't need open cast mining, you don't need deep mining, you just take the nickel from the plant itself. And its market value of 1 hectare would be about $1,800 per hectare. That's the profit. And extracting the nickel involves pruning the shafts. You cut the branch, the nickel stop dripping. They have the highest concentration, and then burning them. When you burn them, the ash can be separated from the nickel. Some would drip, others can be burnt. So this involves releasing carbon dioxide through burning. But the continuous cultivation of these nickel accumulators would make it carbon neutral. All the carbon released from the burning will be captured again by the new planted trees. So you cut the trees to prune the branches and plant new trees in their place. Great, isn't it? So the mines, the problems can be reduced. And then, have you heard of the solar canal? I hadn't heard of solar canals till recently. But wow, Indian innovation. They're making smart use of canals and are building solar canals in small dusty village of Gujarat, the homes province of Modi. You can see lines of blue solar panels and they're moving. What is happening is that these panels cover the top of the irrigation canals and they shine like mirrors. There's a village with 40 homes, mud walls, tin roofs, some cows, like most of the villages. And it did not have electricity. And now they not only have electricity, they supply electricity to the neighboring towns. So a pilot 750-meter stretch in Gujarat in 2014 led to the first large-scale canal-top solar plant in Vadodara. The cost was $18.3 million. But on the Narmada River, when this was set up, and electricity could be generated at multiple points, and now they have commissioned a 100 megawatt canal solar power plant, and 30% of this has been recovered now. 18,000 megawatt of power is being produced by these canal solar plants. And it's very simple. They say it's much faster than building gas plants, than building coal power plants. And another benefit in the water starved provinces, canals, when it's covered, the evaporation will be reduced and more water will be available for crops and for the people. Another plus, when the canals are covered, the algae won't grow. Algae growth can clog water pumps and cause toxicity. So, solar plant not only gives you energy but reduces the production of algae, stops toxicity, stops the evaporation of water, and the efficiency of the panel is increased because they remain cool. They don't become hot. The air conditioning cost of keeping the panels cool is reduced. So this is the third benefit. Wow, this is human ingenuity. What the Indians have a typical word for it called jugaad, and that is there. And are you aware? Now they are celebrating United Nations 75th anniversary. And there's one country in the world which is there, but officially it does not exist. This small country, life is there, but there's a constant search for identity. It's between the border of Moldova and Ukraine. It's a landlocked country, and the name of the country is Transnistria. More than half a million people live in this country. They have an independent government. It has its own currency, its own constitution, its own army. The national anthem is we sing the praise of Transnistria. But UNO refused to recognize it. Officially, it's called PMR, that is Prednistrovia Moldovan Republic, because UNO believes that's technically a part of Moldova, but there was a separatist movement, and in 1992, when the civil war took place in Moldova, this country became independent, and as I said now, it has its own flag, its own army, its own independence, and Moldovan government cannot do anything. Since 1990, this region was agitating for independence, and in 1992 it became independent in 2 years. It's predominantly Russian-speaking area on the Dniester River, but UNO, by its own standards, says no. This is an area which is frozen conflict. Here the fighting ceased 25 years back, but there was no formal peace treaty. And now the perimeter of this country is patrolled by 1,200 Russian peacekeepers who enforce a ceasefire between Moldova and Transnistria. The citizens are very patriotic, call themselves Transnistrians, and pledge allegiance to their own country. But the country is still not recognized by the United Nations. And then, you are living in the age of coronavirus, right? A study has been done in China which finds that if you wear glasses outside the home, ordinary glasses, then your chances of getting corona are much less than if you are not wearing. The people who wear eyeglasses are a lower risk. They studied 276 patients at a hospital and found that only 6% wore glasses for more than 8 hours a day. And all of them were suffering from myopia. And this study has been published, as I said, in the Journal of Ophthalmology. It's quite a provocative study. And according to Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine, they say that wearing glasses is much more useful than wearing a mask. If you wear both, it's much better, but wearing glasses is much better. And that's why they say that the shields which cover the face is much better than anything else to protect yourself from coronavirus. Now, how far is this study reliable? You have got to believe it for the simple reason that three universities, apart from Chinese, they have accepted the fact. They say the eyes are one of the recipients of the virus. Unfortunately, this is not being practiced. And the sooner we start doing it, if you are having myopia, then you have got to wear it. But if you don't have it, you can wear the clear glasses. So these are the nuggets of the knowledge that we are discussing today. And for more, we meet next week. Thank you.